Good afternoon, and welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to our Sky Factory 3 modded Minecraft Let's Play series. So, Dark and I have been very busy since last episode. Over here, I don't know if I mentioned it, but there's this big floating island. This is just the framework of it. Because we're going to, of course, have that big floating island that the ship is docked at, and maybe trading with or something like that, you know. And this island's going to be more, or I should say less advanced than, our ship. So it's going to be more like a farming island and whatnot. Over here, we've got potatoes now. We've got wheat. Also, the solarium crop is gone for the time being because we have like nearly 50 million solarium. So we're like, okay, we're going to cut down on it, and instead we're going to put it just a smaller crop in one of these areas or something like that. And this solar panel is now upgraded, so you'll notice that, well, during the day, it's producing about 47,000 RF per tick. So it's the top tier solar panel now. So that is upgraded. Now, over here, of course, today we're going to be moving that wither spawner, in addition to some other things. I did work on the framework. You're not going to be able to see a lot of this once it's done. I'm just trying to get like a general idea and do some framework. Some of it you'll be able to see, because we want it to look like the ship's actually supported and everything, just like a real ship would be. On the back end, we're going to have the cabin area, just like a normal ship would have, and kind of have it raised, and the bedrooms and stuff like that inside that cabin area. Down here, this floor, this is just a rough layout of the rooms, and there'll also be another small floor in this area here, basically just right below the deck. And then, in addition, I know he added, right over here, these are all disk drives with 64K storage disks in them. So, massive item storage. And then if we pop down here, I've been working down here a bit. So right down in here, we're going to be working in these little areas today a little bit. And I do apologize. Sometimes at the front of the ship, it gets a little bit jittery. There's a lot going on up here. But in addition, we just recently ordered either 1,000 or 2,000 vibrant capacitor banks. I don't know. We both ordered 1,000. So there's a lot of vibrant capacitor banks being created. So that's a lot of where the lag's coming from, or the kind of the jittery effect that's going on. Let's see, can we see how many has it made so far? 325, plus we've got a couple in here, loose ones. 326, but yeah, it's basically just, it's crafting a ton of these things. So that's what's happening up here right now, and that's where I think the lag's coming from. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into what we're going to be doing today, which is working in this area, and working on some of the spawners and whatnot. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to get a network receiver and transmitter. So these are fairly easy to craft. Tell you what, I'm just going to make 64 of those. Sounds good. And 64 construction cores. Sounds good. We just make everything by the stack. It don't matter. And receiver. And basically this is just going to make our lives a little bit easier. We're not going to have to run so much cabling. So the transmitter, let's go ahead and hook it up like right here for right now. And then we're also going to want to get ourselves a network card. And our receiver, let's go ahead and put it right down here. I think this is where we're going to have the withers. It's just right here at the front of the ship. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and remove this travel anchor, and I'll set it up right here for right now. And so our receiver, we'll just put it into the wall right there. And then we'll go ahead and shift click on that receiver, and you'll notice it says it's linked to those coordinates. So then what we can do is we can go up and put this into the transmitter, and that way it's going to transmit our thing down here to the thing. I guess that makes sense. From the transmitter to the receiver. So Alright, so now you'll notice that it is receiving a signal from the network. It's turned blue, and that means it's currently active. So next up, let's go ahead and got to set a few things up here. Let's get ourselves a bit of cabling. I made 1,000 of this earlier too, so always craft everything by the 1,000s. It just makes life a lot easier. But anyways, let's go ahead and we're going to snag this detector, and we're going to actually try something here. If I was to, let's see, I'm actually going to break that for now. We're going to try summoning it, because I know, from what I understand, they changed it so that you can actually summon, no, I'm going to have to actually put a block down right here. From what I understand, they changed it so that you can actually summon the Wither horizontal like this. So if so, that's kind of what I want to do, I think, but we'll see. So let's do our constructors facing down just like this. I don't know how he's going to spawn like this, but we'll do it like that. And we're going to go ahead and tell these that it can only accept soul sand, and then the top ones can only accept wither skeleton skulls. And then we're going to go ahead and put a crafting card in each one of these as well, so that they know, you know, if they need to, they can craft soul sand and wither skeleton skulls, because we've taught them the recipes for that using essence. And then next up, let's go ahead and put our detector. I'll actually put our detector like right there. So it's going to be like a mess of cables, but it's going to work. So, and then let's go grab ourselves a nether star. So it's going to emit on nether stars, and we're going to say 1024. So once it has 1024 in the system, it's going to emit a redstone signal when above the amount. When above the amount, it's going to emit a redstone signal. That's great, and it's actually right next to this constructor that does the wither skeleton skull, so the redstone will affect that wither skeleton. So that'll be great. And then what we need to do, let's go grab a couple other things from this one. And so next up, one thing I forgot to do is let's go ahead and set this constructor to only work without a redstone signal. This is going to emit a signal when it's above the amount, which of course is going to make it so that it doesn't allow you know, these wither skeleton skulls to be emitted. So that's great. And then next up, let's go ahead and set ourselves up just an absorption hopper. Let's see, we'll put the hopper like right here, I think. That's all good. And you'll notice it can pick up items and fluid. And what we're going to be doing is collecting liquid experience as well as the items that the wither drops. Now granted, keep in mind, if you're playing it with mob griefing on, this probably won't work too well. But we're on a server with mob griefing off. So, you know, this works wonderfully for us. And actually, I think I want the absorption hopper over one. I think would be good. And so then let's go ahead and we'll put down a fluid tank right here. And we're going to go ahead and say that you'll pull items from that side, push items from this side. And we'll just stick an importer on this so that it can import fluid from the liquid tank into the system. And then we'll stick our fluid conduit just right here. We'll say you can insert and you can extract, always active. So that's great. I'm going to have to get a factory block to fix that. I'll do that in a second. And then we're just going to set up a chest like right here. We're going to stick another importer on this chest to pull items from the chest into the system. And then we'll just go ahead and stick our item conduit right here. We'll say you can insert, you can extract, always active. So that's great. Once we put the cable down right here, both of those will be connected up. And then lastly, let's go ahead and set up ourselves a timer. There it is. And these may actually already still be set up the way they were. Let me grab a wrench here. There we go. We're going to have it facing this way with a 240 tick delay. And then what we're going to do is let's have, we'll put it there, I guess. A little bit tight on space, but that's okay. I'll tell you what, we're going to face it that way and have this one facing this way. That would be good. And so then what we'll do is we'll set up our redstone conduit. And then the sequencer is set up with just a single tick on a 20-second delay with loop 2. So it's going to loop the cycle all the time, and it's going to restart anytime it gets a redstone pulse. So basically this timer is going to restart it, and then it'll loop back through and whatnot. And then what we'll do is we'll just plug it in to this constructor. Go ahead and connect that. There was the timer that just went through. And then what we need to do is set up this constructor to only work with a redstone signal. And basically this is just here to kind of offset the timer for, whenever it's going to place the soul sand and stuff like that. We want this wither skull to go down last. And then this is set up to basically stop it from working, once we have the desired number of nether stars within the system. So now that that's done, let me go ahead and replace this block. And let's go ahead and put our grinder down. So our grinder, let's set it, there we go. Very, very nice. And let me go grab, okay, actually I'm already connected to that. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just plug that in so it has power. You'll notice there's like beams everywhere. The worst is if you come up here, you'll see like the huge amount of beams. But there you go. Beams for days. Now if you're not holding the crystal binder, you're not going to see those for the most part. When they are transferring energy, you will see slight lines. So we may end up adjusting like placement and some things like that. And we'll go ahead and put this glass in. I think we're going to use this asymmetrical leaded glass. I think it looks good. It kind of looks like grating. And we're going to see, I don't know if the wither is going to bust out of this. If it does, we'll adjust it. We'll put something in there or something. But now, I think the only thing we have left to do is just plug up this last bit. And we'll see if it works. There it goes. Starting to place wither parts. Anyway. And you can see that it's waiting on a signal for that last wither skull right now. I went down there to look, and then it like spawned. I'm like, oh, well. So let's see. And it's dead. Good stuff. Oh, the absorption hopper's not getting it. Okay, I'm gonna grab a vacuum chest just in case. I keep forgetting that thing is there. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and let it spawn another one for us. Okay, yeah, it seems like if they get knocked over to that far corner right there, that's when it happens. When it doesn't quite reach it. So I'm going to go ahead and just set a vacuum chest here. Apparently it's got stuff in it. And we'll go ahead and knock up the range to 6. So, I mean, I could move the absorption hopper over. That would be fine too. But I think I'm going to leave it there. I mean, it's getting the XP. It's just not grabbing the items necessarily. So we'll do that. Oh, and I forgot to change this importer to fluids. There we go. Now it's drained it empty. Alright. And it stopped running because we've got plenty of nether stars. I just had 32 of them was the only reason it stopped. So anyways, let's go ahead. I want to bring this wiring back. Or actually for these, I may have it come up and come to the ceiling. Because that one, I mean, that one's going to be a lot of wires. It has to build the wither, and there's redstone and all that stuff to do. But the rest of these, there won't be so much wiring showing, I think. So, see, beneath this is void. So we are going to run the wires up through here. That's fine. And this one is actually going to be, I think, cursed earth. There's going to be a couple spawners that aren't necessarily like just normal mob spawners. So that's what some of these are for. But our actual mob spawners are here. And we were actually talking about this, like Direwolf would be really, really happy with us. Because these are all 9x9s for our mobs to live in and die in. So the actual like normal mob spawners are going to be in this area. And so let's go ahead and we're going to set one of these up real quick. Just to give you an idea how this is going to be set up and everything. We figure certain mobs, we were actually thinking about doing mob chunks because that's something that we need. But if you take a look here, I mean, we have a ton of mob chunks. So that's not really a concern because over there, this mob farm is set up for mob chunks. So if something comes up and there's certain ones that we need, maybe. Otherwise, we're just going to use a draconic grinder. So let's go ahead and get ourselves... Oh, it's just called mob grinder, isn't it? There we go. There's our mob grinder. Good stuff. And I think... Let's see, what do we even want to automate? I have no clue. Maybe pigs or something? I don't know. We're just kind of going excessive at this point. So, yeah, whatever. We'll set up a blaze spawner. And maybe we'll come up with something better, to actually... maybe something better to actually put as a spawner. I don't know. We'll see. And there we go. There's our blaze spawner. Woo! And then we're going to go on down here and we'll set it up. And actually here in a second I want to show you guys a couple quick tips as well that I've been meaning to mention. And things like, I know there was one thing that I taught Dark today. And he was like, I didn't know that. He's like, you should mention that because I don't guess I've mentioned it in my series, and I probably should. So I'll go over that in just a second. If I put it here with a range of 4, it would cover this entire area, which is kind of what I want. For just to cover this area here. So what I might do, I'm going to run this over, and then we'll just put an importer on this. And I'll probably do something with the floor. Maybe have like a walkway that runs over the top, you know what I mean? Or like a, kind of like the mesh kind of comes across in the center there. So that way, the cabling can go underneath it or something. Is probably what we'll do. Because the vacuum chests are going to be a lot better centered than off-centered, I think. And we'll just stick our importer onto this. And then I guess I'm going to go ahead and set this to active without a signal for now. Because I may end up setting up something to have it turn off when we have X amount of, whatever, blaze rods or something in the system. Because I think that would be better. Or maybe just have some kind of redstone control so we can shut them off. Even though, realistically, I'm happy with just running them all the time. Because, I mean, we're at the point now where we could shut off every machine that we have, and we would probably have enough resources to last us forever. But that's the beauty of Sky Factory, is we're just kind of going for excess. Just over the top amount of everything. So, yeah. And so I think we'll do something like that, I think. And I think that looks quite good, actually. Let's go ahead and pop down here, and we're just going to link this up with our crystal binder. These things have like super range, by the way. We'll just link it up like that, and now this thing will be running, producing blazes for us. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot about the draconic grinder, which we do have it, but I also forgot about a capacitor to speed it up. So let me grab those really, really quick. We have 896 vibrant capacitor banks, so it's coming along. Also, by the way, today is actually Dark's birthday. I was meaning to get him in the recording. I tried to do it a little bit earlier today, but he had to go into work early and all that. He goes into work pretty early, so. Well, that's fine. I have like super everything on me here, so. That's fine. You guys can just keep attacking me. I don't care. We'll put our draconic grinder like right here. I mean, we're to the point now where like nothing can hurt us. I don't think so. Look at them all firing away. Too many mobs. That's fine. Alright, so we'll do that. And now they're all dead. How is it not getting these? It should have plenty of range. And we are going to need to set up an absorption hopper, probably. I'll do that in a minute. But really, really quickly, let's go over a couple, because I know the episode's running a bit long. But let's go ahead and set up a couple really, really nice things that we could have in the, with our spawners and everything. The first up is Wither Boss Death Muffler. This thing is actually very, very handy. Let me get a Wither Skull. And I'll probably actually put down a muffler, like a normal sound muffler, down there, especially with the blazes, because they are very, very noisy. I actually quite hate them, if I'm being totally honest. But anyways, this Wither Boss Death Muffler, we're just going to put it, I guess, like right there. They are player-based, so I know Dark will probably have to place his own as well. But that's okay. And so now, if we were to pull, let's say, like a stack of nether stars out of here, there's also one of these for the Ender Dragon as well. So you notice there was no boom sound or whatever that it normally makes whenever the Wither dies. That is the Wither Death Muffler. Because whenever you're running, the Wither, you're spawning him and killing him all the time. It's kind of a little bit annoying to have to hear that sound all the time. So you will hear the explosion. We could put a muffler down there if we wanted to cut out the explosion. But I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. And then also, another thing that I want to show you guys. This is what I was showing to Dark earlier. I taught him how to do this, and because he didn't realize that this, that this was a thing. But let's say that you're using the Better Builder's Wand. And I know everybody's been in this situation where you accidentally click something and it throws a bunch of crap down that you didn't mean for it to. So for example, if I place all this cobblestone here, and then I do /wand, oops, you'll notice it takes away, that cobble. Now, one thing to note though, and you do get the items back, but whenever you type it out, do it just like this. The only capital letter is that first O in oops. And that's how you'll get your items back. Now, that only works on the last wand action that you did. So if you did like 2 in a row, you wouldn't be able to get rid of the first one. So just be aware of that. But one thing to note, and I promise we've never actually used this, like exploited it or anything. But I don't believe that it's been fixed. But let's say we were to put down like a few diamond blocks here. Oops. So we've got 60. We do this, and now we have 56. And then I was to do like this. I'm up to 59. Oops. You actually have to have the wand in your hand, by the way. You'll notice that now I'm up to 63. So you can duplicate items with that. It's not something that I do. I feel like it's kind of cheaty. But, that is a thing. I did it with diamond blocks because, realistically, in this pack, we're not hurting for diamonds. So, but anyways, just a heads up, that is a thing. The wand oops. I know a lot of people, I don't think, know that it's there, and it is very, very handy. So just keep that in mind. If you ever have another wand accident, you can put in that command. Now keep in mind as well, that only works with the Better Builder's Wand. So if you're using some other kind of Builder's Wand, that's not going to work. That is a feature for Better Builder's Wands alone. But of course, these are the ones that do the massive size. So if you accidentally misclick, I know he did that and had like a bunch of I think it was cobble or some crap over here. No, it was fertilized earth, or fertilized dirt was what it was. But yeah, so anyways, with that said, I am going to end out the episode. By the way, keep in mind that this isn't the actual final shape of the ship. This is just the frame. We're going to decorate it and all that. Add cabins on the top and sails and all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of attachments and stuff that are going to go on the outside as we move forward. So Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. I will say that next episode, Britannia is what we're going to be working on. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Britannia is what we're going to be doing, and that's because we actually need Britannia at the moment. There's quite a few things that are linked with Britannia-based items that we cannot craft at the moment. Namely, one of the major ones right now is the Dragon Egg Generator for extra utilities, because that's what we're going to use for our power, because we have just a massive amount of Dragon Eggs and from farming up Awakened Draconium. So we're going to set that up, and that way we can just have a few Dragon Egg Generators back here and have, you know, thousands of GP. So it's not something that we're going to have to worry about, because GP is not really something. This is our GP setup. It's terrible. And GP is not something that we've really prioritized, I guess. So it's definitely something that we want to work on very, very soon. And to do that, we're going to need Britannia. So just a heads up, that will be what we're going to be working on next episode. So anyways, I hope you guys join me for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. So until next time, I'm just kind of cleaning all this stuff up. But anyways, until next time, as always, do take care and stay safe. And I will see you guys next time.